Hey people, it's Veronica and you're welcome to my channel. On today's video, I'll be showing you how to make scrunchies. This is a very detailed tutorial on how to make scrunchies. If you'd like to see how I made mine and how you can make yours, please keep on watching. You'll be needing fabric of your choice, matching thread, scissors, chalk or fabric pen for marking, thin elastic band, measuring tape, and pins, the type I'm showing you now. We will start by cutting our fabric like a rectangle with dimensions of 5 inches by 23 inches. Don't worry, this already takes care of the sewing allowance. After cutting, you fold your fabric into 2. Then you go to one end of the fabric and measure 2 inches from that end. Then you mark. Measure another 2 inches from the first mark and you mark again. Take your fabric to the sewing machine and sew on a half or 0.5 inch seam allowance. You can also hand sew with your hand needle if you prefer that. Please note that you will not sew straight from end to end of your fabric, but you will leave the 2-inch gap we created while marking. Watch carefully to see how I sew mine. Now we are done with sewing and we're going to bring out the right side of our fabric. That's all. So at this point, all we're going to do is just bring out the right side of the fabric, so you can just watch mine and do yours the way I'm doing mine. We're going to press now with our iron. This is to ensure that our scrunchie comes out looking very clean, neat, and professionally finished. So it's an important part, an important step you cannot skip, except maybe the kind of fabric you're using. Although I think scrunchies look better in certain kinds of fabric, but if the fabric you're using is something that maybe you don't need to iron and ironing will not really make a difference, then it's fine. But if not, it's important you iron your fabric at this point, because it's not yet a scrunchie at this point, but it's important you iron or press your fabric at this point. You're going to locate the opening now and the shorter end of your fabric. Now you're going to pass the shorter end through the opening. Is passing on the inside, so it will pass on the inside through that opening like mine. Now you go to the longer end and also pass that longer end through the shorter end and through the opening, so the two of them should be together. That's the shorter and the longer end, they should be together, but they are also passing through the opening. Do you understand? Now you can secure with your pin. Please don't, it should look like mine. the way mine is looking, that's how it should look. It should not be closed. Maybe it's now looking like pinned together. It should look round like mine, have an opening. You understand? Because if you close it, that's a mistake sometimes we make when we're making scrunchies. It should not be closed. It should look round and open like mine. You understand? It should look like mine though. If it's not like mine, go back and try and follow my steps the way I'm doing it, so that you understand. Because this is actually the technical part of the scrunchie. This is the part that either makes or breaks this kind of scrunchie. We're going to be sewing now. You know, we have joined the two ends together, and the two ends are coming out through the opening. We have even secured with our pin. So now the two ends are together, but there's the opening is looking round. So now when we are sewing, we are going to sew it round, like we are going round this circle. Don't stitch the two ends together like vertically, like straight. No, you're going to sew the two together, the two ends together, but you're going to sew it round. So when you are stitching or sewing, if whatever you are sewing is not looking like it's going round, please stop. It means you already made a mistake. And look carefully at how I'm sewing mine. We're done with sewing, and if you followed my steps correctly, yours should be looking like mine. Now all you do is to just grab two sides of the scrunchie and pull. As you pull, the side will flip out, that opening side, everything will just go in, and that's all. Now you pin one side of your elastic band, then the side with the pin, now you're going to push it and pass it through the entire circumference of your fabric or your scrunchie, whatever you call it at this point. So you push it with that pin until it comes out at the other side. Now you're going to scrunch your scrunchie up, push it and make it as fluffy as you want it to be, with as much gathers, or should be gathers, yes, as you want it. It feels just right to you. I don't measure elastic band when I'm making scrunchies. That's what I feel. I feel you shouldn't measure. You should just do it till it feels right. You are the one that knows the kind of tension you want. I know the funny thing about it is that the fabric you're using will also determine how much elastic will be inside the scrunchie. So just leave it like this. This is my own method, but if you prefer measuring your elastic band, is also okay. So now when you're sure that your scrunchie feels just right, all you have to do is to secure the two ends of the elastic band with the pin. We're going to sew the two ends of the elastic band that you secured with your pin together. It is better to use a zigzag stitch when stitching elastic band or things that have stretch generally, but my sewing machine cannot do a zigzag stitch. If you can see, it is an old butterfly machine that has suffered in my hand. It has gone through a lot of abuse, but it's also cool. You can use it too, or use any other machine that doesn't have a zigzag stitch. You just have to go over it over and over again, so that with wear the stitch doesn't come loose. So now we're going to finish off the opening, I'm finishing off with my sewing machine. I'm going to sew as close to the edge as possible. This is the only way to ensure it comes out very, very neat. The best way is to sew with an invisible stitch, but I'm not doing an invisible stitch. This is what I want to use. If you are not sure, use an invisible stitch. And if you're not sure of how to use an invisible stitch, please sew with your sewing machine, but use matching thread so that the thread will vanish into the fabric. I would have done an invisible stitch video, but unfortunately my hand sewing videos, hand sewing with hand needle sewing videos did not do well, and I can't come and be doing all this now. Now it became like a waste of my time. But if you want this series of hand sewing to come back again, please leave your comments down below so that I can start making videos on hand sewing. You have come to the end of this scrunchie video, and your scrunchie should be looking like mine. So even if you made a mistake and it at a point you weren't following, or it did not turn out well, it's totally fine. It's funny how I have been sewing. I'm someone that sews for the first time and I sew well, but see this scrunchie, I don't just know what was happening. Scrunchie was not just working for me. I made a lot of mistakes when I started making scrunchies, so it's fine. So even if it didn't turn out well this first time, you just go over the video again and again as many times as possible, and you will get it. So if you didn't notice, the fabric I used for the scrunchie is the one I used for my reversible satin bonnet. Please go and watch that video too. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like my video, comment down below in the comment section, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I upload a video, and please share. Thank you for watching my video. It means so much to me that I have an audience, even if we're so small now, but I am really appreciative. I love you guys so much. So until my next video, bye bye and have a great day. Bye bye.